awful shocked that this happened here in Tyler, Texas.
Simple fact is, we were just outgunned.
This was the scene in downtown Tyler 20 years ago today when a gunman opened fire outside the Smith County Courthouse, killing his ex-wife and a man who tried to stop the shooting. 4 others were injured and the gunman was ultimately killed. Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. February 24th, 2005 is a day many in Smith County find hard to forget. It's the day Tyler became the scene of a shootout. Tonight we take a look back and a look at the shooting's lasting impact.
Do you have emergency police? Yes, there's a shootout at the courthouse. Okay, we're on the way.
I mean, this is a small town, and this doesn't happen.
He's in a maroon truck, and he's about to shoot somebody.
It's a shame to lose people this way.
February 24th, 2005. David Arroyo is set to attend a hearing at the Smith County Courthouse for failing to pay child support. On the east side of the courthouse, his ex-wife, Maribel Estrada, and his 23-year-old son, David Arroyo Jr., are walking up the steps when Arroyo Sr. opens fire using an AK-47.
At the back door, shooting at these people.
This surveillance video shows officers running out of the courthouse after hearing the shots.
First thing that I heard was just rapid fire. Didn't know what it was. I thought maybe fireworks even.
Attorney Brett Harrison was inside the 114th District Court when the shooting started, as was a KLTV cameraman. Inside the courthouse, 2 murder hearings were underway, which had people thinking the shooter was trying to get inside.
We all sort of tried to figure out what best to do, looked for an escape route if we needed it. We all went sort of towards the window to see if we could jump if we needed to.
At the Tyler Police Department, Sergeant Rusty Jacks heard what was happening over his police radio.
I responded to the square, and about the time I got here, the suspect was leaving in his truck, which I didn't know. And I heard over the radio that he was northbound on Spring Street, which was the backside of the courthouse, and I thought he was on foot.
Jacks can be seen in this video running in front of the courthouse, eventually hopping on the hood of a patrol car with his rifle in hand.
We knew over the radio that the suspect was armed with a rifle, and like I said, most officers only had handguns back then, and a lot of the officers, particularly the bailiffs and different folks, carried revolvers.
Jacks and other officers chased Arroyo along Highway 271. One officer eventually managed to ram the back of Arroyo's truck and can be seen clearing the way for Jacks to take his shot.
When I walked up and he was laying on the ground and I saw that he was wearing body armor, that realization really kind of sank in that there, but for one lucky shot, am I, right? Because he was definitely shooting back at us. And I had 2 little kids at home at the time.
David Arroyo was dead, but not before fatally shooting his ex-wife, Maribel Estrada, and Mark Wilson, who lived in a downtown Tyler apartment.
Mark Wilson owned a gun shop here in town, a shooting range, and at that time was a handgun license holder, back when you had to have a handgun license, and lived here on the square. And he had no obligation, no duty to do anything, but he saw what was going on, went to his apartment, from my understanding, retrieved the handgun and tried to stop it. Unfortunately, he was killed.
Wilson is credited with saving lives that day, delaying Arroyo's efforts to move towards the courthouse and allowing time for officers to move in.
At this time, what I can tell you is that there are 2 that are confirmed dead.
The shooting left 4 people injured, including Tyler police officer Clay Perret and deputies Marlon Sewell and Sherman Dollison.
I just kind of laid down because at that time I'd accepted, this was the end.
They rushed right into it and made it head on. Simple fact is, we were just outgunned.
Arroyo's 23-year-old son was also injured after being shot while standing next to his mother. Security changes after the shooting included the closure of the East Side entrance and more training.
Start talking.
Law enforcement also focused in on arming deputies and officers with rifles in hopes of never being outgunned again.
It really shaped a lot of the future of my career, just having been involved in the incident, and even my current job now. I schedule active shooter training around the state, and kind of a result of that incident, I started teaching active shooter response.
When the shooting happened, Smith County Judge Neil Franklin was the Tyler fire chief.
Well, I actually was just a few blocks away from downtown, riding in the assistant chief's truck with him, and we hear gunshots downtown Tyler.
And now, with that day always in the back of his mind, Franklin is overseeing the construction of the new Smith County Courthouse, with safety and security top of mind, including separate corridors for judges, inmates, jurors, and members of the public.
We wanted the judge and staff to have a certain pathway. We wanted the general public to have a certain pathway. And then the inmates that were going to stand trial, they had a different pathway. And you never meet, those three groups don't meet until you actually get in the courtroom, and it's a safe scenario at that point.
With the new building on the way, in the near future, the scene of the crime will be demolished. And with it, these reminders of what happened. But the memories and feelings of those who were here will remain.
If you notice, I never say the suspect's name. He does not deserve to be remembered, in my personal opinion. We should remember the victims and the heroes that responded.
And a little over a month after the shooting in Tyler, the Texas House of Representatives recognized Mark Wilson and his heroic actions that day with the unanimous passing of a special resolution.